What's going on midday today? Hope you guys are doing well. Happy Thursday. Let's get into it. Moving on to chapter 10. Time flies. Chapter 10. Power of the mastermind. The driving force. The 9 steps to riches. Power is essential for success in the accumulation of money. Plans are inert and useless without sufficient power to translate them into action. This chapter will describe the method by which an individual may attain and apply power. Power may be defined as organized and intellectual direct knowledge. Power, as the term is here used, refers to organized effort, sufficient to enable an individual to transmute desire into its monetary equivalent. Organized effort is produced through the coordination of effort of 2 or more people who work toward a defined end in a spirit of harmony. Power is required for the accumulation of money. Power is necessary for the retention of money after it has been accumulated. Let us ascertain how power may be acquired. If power is organized knowledge, let us examine the sources of knowledge. Number 1, the infinite knowledge. This source of knowledge may be contacted through the procedure described in chapter 6 with the aid of creative imagination. Number 2, accumulated experience. The accumulated experience of humankind, or that portion of which has been organized and recorded, may be found in any well-equipped public library. An important part of this accumulated experience is taught in schools and colleges where it has been classified and organized. Number 3, experiment and research. In the field of science, and in particularly every other walk of life, people are gathering, classifying, and organizing new facts daily. This is a source to which one must turn when knowledge is not available through accumulated experience. Here too, the creative imagination must often be used. Knowledge may be acquired from any of the foregoing sources. It may be converted into power by organizing it into defined plans, by expressing those plans in terms of action. Examination of 3 major sources of knowledge will readily disclose the difficulty people would have if they depend upon their efforts alone in assembling knowledge and expressing it through defined plans in terms of action. If their plans are comprehensive, and if they contemplate large proportions, they must generally induce others to cooperate with them before they can inject into their plans the necessary element of power. Getting power through the mastermind. The mastermind may be defined as coordination of knowledge and effort in a spirit of harmony between 2 or more people for the attainment of defined purpose. No individual may have great power without availing him or herself of the mastermind. In chapter 7, instructions were given for the creation of plans for the purpose of translating desire into its monetary equivalent. If you carry out these instructions with persistence and intelligence, and use discrimination in the selection of your mastermind group, your objective will have been halfway reached before you even begin to realize it. So you may better understand the untangible potentialities of power available to you through a properly chosen mastermind group. We will here explain the 2 characteristics of the mastermind principle, one of which is economic in nature and the other psychic. The economic feature is obvious. Economic advantages may be created by people who surrounded themselves with the advice, counsel, and personal cooperation of a group of people who are willing to lend them wholehearted aid in a spirit of perfect harmony. This form of cooperative alliance has been the basis of nearly every great fortune. Your understanding of this great truth may definitively determine your financial status. The psychic phase of the mastermind principle is much more abstract, much more difficult to comprehend, because it refers to the spiritual forces with which the human race as a whole is not well acquainted. You may catch a significant suggestion from this statement. No 2 minds ever come together without thereby creating a third, invisible, intangible force which may be linked to a third mind. Keep in mind the fact that there are only 2 known elements in the whole universe, energy and matter. Matter may be broken down into units of molecules, atoms, and electrons. There are units of matter that may be isolated, separated, and analyzed. Likewise, there are units of energy. The humankind is a form of energy, a part of it being spiritual in nature. When the minds of two people are coordinated in a spirit of harmony, the spirit units of energy of each mind form a affinity, which constitutes the psychic phase of the mastermind. The mastermind principle, or rather the economic feature of it, was first called to my attention by Andrew Carnegie. Discovery of this principle is responsible for the choice of my life's work. Mr. Carnegie's mastermind group consisted of a staff of approximately 50 men with whom he surrounded himself with for the defined purpose of manufacturing and marketing steel. He attributed his entire fortune to the power he accumulated through this mastermind. Analyze the record of any person who has accumulated a great fortune and many of those who have accumulated modest fortunes, and you will find that they have either consciously or unconsciously employed the mastermind principle. Great power can be accumulated through no other principle. Energy is nature's set of building blocks out of which she constructs every material thing in the universe, including humankind and every form of animal and vegetable life. Through a process that only nature completely understands, she translates energy into matter. Nature's building blocks are available to us in the energy involved in thinking. The brain may be compared to an electric battery. It absorbs energy from the ether, which permeates every atom of matter and fills the entire universe. A group of electronic batteries will provide more energy than a single battery. An individual battery will provide energy in proportion to the number and capacity of the cells it contains. The brain functions in a similar fashion. This accounts for the fact that some brains are more efficient than others and leads to this significant statement. A group of brains coordinated or connected in a spirit of harmony will provide more thought energy than a single brain, just as a group of electric batteries will provide more energy than a single battery. Through this metaphor, it becomes immediately obvious that the mastermind principle holds the secret of the power wielded by people who surrounded themselves with other people of brains. There follows now another statement which will lead still nearer to an understanding of the psychic phase of the mastermind principle. When a group of individuals' brains is coordinated and functions in harmony, the increased energy created through that alliance becomes available to every individual brain in the group. Henry Ford began his business career under the handicap of poverty, illiteracy, and ignorance. Within the inconceivable short period of 10 years, Mr. Ford mastered these three handicaps and within 25 years made himself one of the richest men in America. Connected with this fact, the additional knowledge that Mr. Ford's most rapid strides became noticeable from the time he became a personal friend of Thomas A. Edison, and you will begin to understand what the influence of one mind upon another can accomplish. Go a step further and consider the fact that Mr. Ford's most outstanding achievements began from the time he formed the acquaintances of Henry Firestone, John Burroughs, and Luther Burbank, each a man of great brain capacity, and you will have further evidence that power may be proceeded through friendly alliance of minds. There is little if any doubt that Henry Ford was one of the best informed men in the business and industrial world. The question of his wealth needs no discussion. Analyze Mr. Ford's innate personal friends, some of whom have already been mentioned, and you will be prepared to understand the following statement. People take on the nature and the habits and the power of thought of those with whom they associate in a spirit of sympathy and harmony. I'll take a stop there. I think many people, especially in the world of media, especially if you're watching videos or watching clips from successful people, you will hear that what matters the most is who you associate yourself with. And I think the great example of which this book is presenting from Henry Ford is that not only did he have the willpower and the persistence and the desire to be successful, but he made the conscious decision to surround himself with people who also have that same kind of mindset or same level of 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 characteristics that he's also demonstrating in his life or on his journey to be successful. And I think that's a very valuable thing to obviously think about, and very practical too, because not only are you surrounding yourself with people who want to be successful, but you guys are building off each other, building off ideas, but building off of energies, and some level of competitiveness that is only ever so positive. And so yeah, I think very insightful. Surround yourself with people who want to be successful.